Hello, friends. Welcome to Jesus Freaks. This is, give me a second. I'm breaking my brain up here. This is Poetry with a Purpose. We today are in 1 Chronicles 11, 7 through 9. It's called the City of David. David then took up residence in the fortress, and so it was called the City of David. He built up the city around it from the supporting terraces of the surrounding wall, while Joab restored the rest of the city. And David became more and more powerful because the Lord Almighty was with him. 1 Chronicles 11, 7, 9, this is the City of David. We're talking about Jerusalem, of course. And now we're going to be talking about future tense. This is the future glorified city of Jerusalem when Christ returns. So just so you understand the context. And the very first line is exactly that. The City of David. Christ has returned, yes, the Ancient of Days, with one thing remaining in its original ways. The City of David, perfect and glorified, exalted and raised up, Jesus Christ magnified. For the promise regarding David and his kin would all be fulfilled, and in fact born again. For God not is slow in his promise keeping, for David his son, and in all that he's reaping. A man after his own heart, not perfect yet blessed, who was sincere to the end as he did now his best. And so the City of David for 1,000 years will now shine, brick and mortar and stone, and yet perfectly divine. For God still resides there in his beautiful Son, chosen and sacred before the world ever begun. Amen. The City of David. Man, that city is so blessed that in Revelation 21, the New Jerusalem, we're going to get a whole new Jerusalem. That's how blessed this city is. It's so blessed. And God's name, he said his name will be there forever, and it will be there forever. So, this is called the City of David. Let's go ahead and get going. We'll go through one stanza at a time. Christ has returned, yes, the Ancient of Days, with one thing remaining in its original ways. And Christ is coming back, and when he returns, he's going to restore all things. And for 1,000 years, he's going to reign from glorified Jerusalem. So this is the one thing remaining, the City of David, which must be perfected and glorified. After Armageddon, after the battles, there'll be a lot of cleanup. And Christ will return, clean up all the mess, and then for 1,000 years, the city will be glorified. The City of David, perfect and glorified, exalted and raised up, Jesus Christ magnified. It says in the Bible in Zechariah 13 or 14 that the city, it said the Mount of Olives is going to split. There'll be a passageway or a place where people travel through the middle of the split mountain, and it says that the City of David or Jerusalem is going to be raised up. It's going to be on this plateau, and it's going to be overlooking everything. So it's a perfect place for Christ to reign from, this plateau city that's been raised up hundreds of feet above everything else. Just an amazing thing. For the promise regarding David and his kin would all be fulfilled, in fact, born again. Now I know the born again is about salvation, but everything is being made new. That born again means to be made, created new. And again, God is fulfilling his promise to David and his kin, and it is all going to be fulfilled, and it's all brand new or born again. For God is not slow in his promise keeping, for David his son and all that he's reaping. Man, David reaped a sure reward from God, even with the Bathsheba incident, even with all the mess of his life, his struggling with his children, all that. He still was a man after God's own heart, and that's awesome. A man after his own heart, not perfect yet blessed, who was sincere to the end as he did now his best. David wasn't perfect, but he was blessed. And that should give us hope, because none of us is perfect, and none of us is walking like David was walking. And yet we can be sincere just like David was. We can have a heart after God's heart too. And so the City of David for 1,000 years will now shine, brick and mortar and stone, yet perfectly divine. For 1,000 years, Christ is going to rule from Jerusalem. It's an unimaginable thing. It's just so great and so amazing. For God still resides there in his beautiful Son, chosen and sacred before the world ever begun. All of this was part of the plan from before the beginning. Amen. For God still resides there in his beautiful Son. Amen. Jesus will be ruling and reigning from exalted Jerusalem. So this is the City of David. Love this one. Anyway, we're only 5 minutes in, so we're a real simple one today. Hope you enjoyed the poetry, but there's stuff coming right around the corner that's just incredible. So be blessed, and we'll talk to you later on. You have a blessed day. This is Inconsistent Josh Stone, trying to get back to you as soon as I can. which means nothing.